Hey guys, this video was 5 things you need to have in order to start making your own music. Now I wanted to make this video quick, clean, and simple, so just follow along. If you don't understand, just go back, but let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing you're gonna need to figure out when you wanna do music production at home is whether or not you wanna use a computer, desktop, or a computer laptop. Now, a Mac is a computer, so don't get it twisted, and I'm talking about iPads and tablets here. I'm talking about either a laptop or a desktop. A desktop is not mobile, but it's gonna give you more power for like processing different things and stuff like that. A laptop is gonna be more expensive, but it's also gonna give you more mobility. So if you feel like you're gonna be moving around or you wanna move around, then maybe a laptop will be for you. But either way, you can't go wrong, either a PC or a Mac, desktop or a laptop, just pick one, okay? So the second thing you need to have is a digital audio workstation. What that is a piece of software that sits on your computer, and it's going to allow you to create something from scratch. It's going to allow you to edit music, it's going to allow you to arrange music, and it's also going to allow you to mix music too. Depending on what you want to make, this is where you need to figure out what kind of DAW you want. There's different types of DAWs for different types of, I will call it, thought processes. So if you're coming from like somebody who makes keyboard music that just comes from the keyboard workstations or something like that, then you may want to look at something like a Reason or something like a Cubase, right? If you're coming from someplace where you primarily do physical instrumentation, you may want to look at like a Pro Tools or again a Cubase. If you've got Mac, you can always go with what they call Logic. It's a program that's similar to Cubase, but is Mac made by Apple. If you want to do more of like the MPC type stuff, like the Akai type stuff from back in the day, well then you may want to look at Native Instruments Machine. I don't consider that a full DAW, but it's like a groove machine, so it kind of lets you create music, and it's got a lot of sounds built into it, so it's really nice for that. If you don't want to play music, if you want to have something that's really hot right now, more like, I would call it like a click-based production, but it also has the flexibility of other types of implementations that will be like Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops has grown a lot since back in the day when it was mainly just clicking and some MIDI controlling. Now they've really fleshed that thing out, and it's really, really nice. Ideally, if you can get your hands on a demo, that would be great. Go ahead and move forward with that and see if you like it. Another thing to recommend is Ableton Live. That's also a really dope DAW too. So the next thing you need to understand is that in order for you to hear this stuff back, you're gonna need some type of sound card or an audio interface is what we like to call it now, right? Audio interfaces usually connect over USB-A or USB-C, which is also called Thunderbolt on Mac. So you need to figure out which one does your computer have. If you don't have USB-C, it's fine. Go ahead and go with USB-A, and that's more the rectangular looking USB plug. So you should be fine with that. But you also need to figure out, are you gonna record any vocals? Are you gonna record any live instruments? If that's the case, then the number of XLRs, or maybe even if you're gonna record drums, you may need something that has like an 8-channel or more input. If you have something like that, then it's gonna give you the flexibility you need in order for you to accomplish what you wanna get accomplished. The next thing that you need to figure out is the MIDI controller. Now, MIDI controllers come in a plethora of types. So you have the keyboard-based MIDI controllers, you have MIDI controllers that have sliders and faders and things like that on it. You have drum machine-looking MIDI controllers, right? Where they're like drum pads and stuff like that. You have some that are both, with the keyboard and the drum pads built into it. You also have electronic drums, right? So say, for example, you want to record your drum patterns, but you don't want to be loud. Then you can go get you some USB drums or E-drums and plug those into your computer and use some type of a VST drum program to go ahead and record that. So that's another way to do it too. The last thing that you're going to need to have, and probably the most important thing, is how am I going to plug into my audio interface to hear the actual music that I'm making? So that could be from a studio monitor, or you can have headphones. I recommend having both if you can afford it. And if you can't really afford to get studio monitors, go ahead and get some headphones to start out with. That's okay. Some decent headphones that sound pretty good so you can hear everything clearly. Studio monitors, they're not the kind of monitors that, or they're not speakers that you would think of like for like theater listening or something like that, where they have a lot of character to them. You want something that's pretty accurate so you can actually hear back what it is that you're making. That way, you're gonna be in the ballpark as to what you're mixing when you get into that step in your creation process. So to summarize that up, what I'm saying is you need a computer, you need a digital audio workstation, which is your software. You need an audio interface, which is a hardware. You need a MIDI controller. And the last thing you need is a monitor, a studio monitor or a headphone. Those are the 5 biggest things that you're gonna need when it comes to getting started with creating music at your house. Now, I'm gonna make some more videos about other processes that you may wanna incorporate in your music production, but are not necessarily important to getting started. So that's gonna be things like treating your room, vocals, what kind of mic am I supposed to get, what type of mic would I need to get for like miking an instrument and stuff like that. But you guys just make sure you stay tuned so you can go ahead and be updated on that stuff when it comes through. My name is Prodigy Music Man. If you like what you're hearing on this channel, please click the like button and subscribe, and I'll hear from you guys later. I'll talk to you later. Peace.